Yo, welcome to another edition of Madden Simulation NFL 2021. We are week 5. And finally, Madden has bounced back and correctly predicted a win with last week's game against Tampa Bay at New England. Maybe not the same scoring result, but Madden predicted Tampa Bay was going to win, and they sure did. So it finally improves its record to 2-3 after getting the season opener correct and getting the next 3 regular season games wrong or incorrect, however you want to put it. But doesn't matter. We're moving on. This week for week 5, we are doing a matchup out in the desert. We're going to have the San Francisco 49ers versus the undefeated, yes, the undefeated, the only undefeated team left, I believe, in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. So, we're going to see if the divisional matchup makes a difference, or whatever. You know what I'm saying. So, we'll see. At the moment, don't know what the status is for Jimmy G. I think at the moment, Madden has him the starter. All honesty, I should have switched and put in Trey Lance, but doesn't matter. We'll see. Anywho, let's get this going. Let's see. San Francisco? Oh, yeah.
And the Arizona Cardinals taking on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers.
Some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. It's certainly hot outside.
Oh, it's State Farm Stadium now, not University of Phoenix. Man, that's the one thing I hate with these sponsorships and so forth. I mean, you build an arena, you build a field, you build a stadium, whatever, okay? And then it's like, here we go, make more money, let's put the sponsorship. Who wants to sponsor it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just got tongue twisted. But you don't have those unique names anymore, you know what I mean? I mean, like, you got Lambeau Field. It's named after a person. You have, you had the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, where the Red Wings played. I'm trying to think of some other stadiums that were named after people, But now it's all about sponsors. And it only runs so long. Like, my favorite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers, they played the stadium that they play in was Miller Park because the Miller Brewing Company had naming rights for it. And after 20 years of existence, it expired, and they didn't want to sponsor it anymore. So it's like, well, it's still Miller Park to me. Well, not anymore. It's American Family Insurance Stadium, field, whatever. I don't know if it's field or stadium. And, everyone in the area and fans like, it's still Miller Park to me. It's like, it really doesn't make a difference what the name is, but it's the lore, not glore, the lore of the place, the building, that makes a difference. Yeah, it's going to take a while to get used to call it American Family Insurance, American Family Field, or whatever, AmFam. Oof. type of play is that? But I mean, like when this building was built, I think it had a different name first, but then University of Phoenix got the naming rights, and that that wasn't confusing at all. University of Phoenix Stadium, and then now it's State Farm, but there's like where the Miami Dolphins play. They play at Hard Rock Cafe. For the longest time, I knew that as Pro Player Stadium. Then it became, I think, it's gone through several different names like Landshark. What are some other ones? I swear it had like 20 different names. And then that's what becomes ridiculous. I was like, I thought, no, it's all the same. It's the same stadium. But I do like the new renovations that they did there. And like now it's you had the Superdome. Now then it was the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Now it's the Caesar Superdome because now they are selling the naming rights to the Superdome. And at one point you had the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and where the Atlanta Falcons now play, it's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's like same sponsor of two different stadiums. Like that sounds a little monopoly-istic, but yeah, then what other stadiums? Like where the 49ers used to play, 3Com. I know at one point it was Monster.com Stadium. Like Dallas Cowboys, they played at Texas Stadium. Then they got, they didn't have any sponsors for New Jerry's World. It was just Cowboy Stadium. And then finally AT&T, who's big in that area, I think, got the naming rights. Or I know they have the naming rights for it. And then they just splatter all over the arena.
Arizona Cardinals offense coming out here for the first time, and you get a peek at Kyler Murray, the dangerous offensive weapon now in his third season in the National Football League.
Yeah, these Arizona Cardinals, like, I'm not surprised the Cardinals are good. I'm just a little surprised they're undefeated. Especially last week they took the LA Rams. It was a battle of the undefeated, and that was in SoFi Stadium, and the Cardinals just took it to the Rams. And a week prior, after the Rams beat the Buccaneers, like, Rams are going to the Super Bowl. It's like, don't just, divisional games. When it's a divisional game, anything can happen. But anyways, all those Rams fans, delirious Rams fans, they're going to we're booking our ticket to the Super Bowl right now because we beat Tampa Bay. Like, you beat Tampa Bay in week 3. It's like, calm, hold your horses, I remember back in 2007, the Green Bay Packers went to New York and beat the Giants. And Eli Manning didn't play week 2 that year. He was hurt. And then what happens? Like, oh yeah, we get to play the Giants in the NFC Championship game. They suck. They were a 5th seed. We could beat them, and they took us to the limit and we lost. And of course, the Giants went to win the Super Bowl that year.
But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Oh, that's right. Connor now plays for the Cardinals, I guess. I really should have. Well, whatever. I really should have tried to make sure that the roster was up to date, but I'm sure it was. And like I said, we don't know what the status is on Jimmy G. If he's gonna play. Oh, look at all that time.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24. He's such a good route runner.
But, to some extent, this is a make or break year for the Cardinals. Because Kyler Murray, his rookie contract's coming up. And they're gonna have to break the bank for him. And it's like, how are they going to keep Murray? How are they going to keep DeAndre Hopkins? And how are they going to keep J.J. Watt?
Here's Murray.
Oh, he gets around. He's off to... Oh. Touchdown, Hopkins.
Taken the early lead. And man, Charles, talk about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
Woo. I don't think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later, not right now in the moment.
And I think after the last 2 weeks for the 49ers, I think their true colors are showing. Now, with Jimmy G getting hurt and leaving the game did not help. But if Trey Lance is the quarterback of the future, and he has to play this week, he'll get the start. It's gonna be an interesting game for him. Because I mean, if you look at the 49ers' first 2 wins, it was kind of deceiving. They went to Detroit week 1, huge lead, but Detroit started chipping away and coming back. They let their guards down, and they were only a possession away from tying that game. Unfortunately, the 49ers defense held and they won. Okay, week 2, San Fran goes to Philadelphia, yeah, and they didn't have a big win there. I think they won what? 18-11? Kind of sounds right.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive.
And it's like Philadelphia's not that good of a team, They're on the rebuild. They're starting over.
Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a second
But
and 3, second and manageable.
17-11. It was some weird score. Yeah, 17-11. But it was in Philadelphia. It was a noon game for Philly. So to the 49ers, it feels like it's so early morning. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, so you minus 3. That's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. So, they have to adjust their sleep and so forth just a wee bit. But they still mustered the win because they're the better team. Okay, week 3, Sunday Night Football. Finally, a home game. But they're taking on the Green Bay Packers. Niners 2-0, Green Bay 1-1. Oh, Garoppolo, and he gets hit with a wobbly. And Green Bay led that game. They led that game until there was 37 seconds left in the game. But, I mean, what? Green Bay was up 17-0? 17-0 just before halftime, but they got great kick return, and the Niners got a touchdown before half. Okay? And then they got another touchdown right after halftime. But Green Bay kept pace, kept that distance, but the 49ers, they had the ball late and got their first lead of the game. Went up 27 with 37 seconds left, but that was way too much time for Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and the Green Bay Packers. And it hurt. And it's like, so that's one that got away from San Francisco. They trailed, they took the lead late, but it was too much time. Last week, I think maybe with the injury of Jimmy G, that hurt, but they were hosting the Seahawks, divisional rival. Anything happens in divisional games in my mind. Doesn't matter if you're 8-0 and your opponent's 0-8. They're going to find a way. They know your ups and downs. They know your weaknesses, and they'll just find a way to beat you. So, and so Seahawks beat them, and so the 49ers are 2-2. Arizona, who has Arizona really beat? Let's be honest. They've only beaten one team so far. Oh, Murray's up. Slides. Let's see who Arizona, who they take on week 1. Oh, who they take on week 1? Trying to think, was it? Week 1 is going over my head at the moment. I know who they want beat. Week 2. Come on. I'm gonna kick myself as soon as I look it up.
Murray's gonna keep it again, and they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained.
Tennessee, that's right. Oh my, and they beat Tennessee. And Tennessee is ticking me off. Especially since I picked them to I had them going 15 and 2. And they blew it for me last week. They're just not as good as I thought they were going to be. But I'll get to Tennessee later. But yeah, they beat Tennessee week 1 handily in Tennessee. Week 2, they were this close. Arizona's that close from losing because Minnesota shanked the field goal. Shankopotamus. Wide right. Week 3. Who did they face week 3? I'm going to kick myself again. Jacksonville. They went to Jacksonville. They beat them. Even knowing that they missed a 68-yard field goal attempt before halftime and Jacksonville returned it for a touchdown. Oh well, so what? But then last week they went to LA and they single-handedly defeated the Rams. So I mean, at the moment, in my mind, Arizona is the real deal. It just depends on how the rest of their season goes. Speaking of that, should have kept that up. Look at Arizona's remaining schedule. You have San Francisco right now. And if trends are our friends, this should be at least a double-digit victory. Oh, look at that hole. Computer's not sure. Oh, should I slide? But, like I'm saying before, Arizona needs... This is kind of a make-or-break season for Arizona. Because Murray's contract, his rookie deal is going to be coming up soon. They're going to pay him big money. I forget what's remaining on, or if they restructured Hopkins' deal. Same thing. I know they just signed J.J. Watt. You know, Larry Fitzgerald, how much longer is he going to stick around? I think, isn't Fitzgerald still playing, or did he retire? And now Murray's off to the races again.
And he slides and covers up.
I suppose this will tell me.
Pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down.
Fitzgerald had to have retired, right? That's sad, but I can't remember if he's still playing or he retired.
On 2nd down, looking for space. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job.
I guess he's retired now.
Allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, well, no, he's a free agent technically. Anywho, okay, so Arizona, their remaining schedule, they play. Oh man, I might have to do that game next week. I gotta take a look at. I'll have to look at week 6. But we have the 49. They have the San Francisco this week in Arizona. Then they go to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Then they host the Texans. That's going to be an interesting game. J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins taking on their old team. But the Brown game, that might be interesting. They should beat the Texans. They go to San Francisco that first week in November. Oh, I'm missing one. Yeah, it's not on here because it's up there. Okay, so San Francisco this week, Cleveland next week, Texans in 2 weeks on the 24th. Then on the 28th of October, they host Green Bay. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be... Have 2 of their next 3 games are going to be kind of pushing it to see if they're still pretenders or contenders. Then they go to San Francisco on that first Sunday in November on the 7th. Then they host Carolina. Then they head to Seattle. They head to Chicago. Then they have Monday Night Football. They host the Rams. Oh, you got to make those tackles. The Monday Night Football, they host the Rams. Then they head to Detroit. Then Christmas Day, they host the Colts. Then they head to Dallas, and then they end the season hosting Seattle. And it's gonna be an interesting ride down the stretch. Now I want to see who. Week 6. That's next week. Connor, no. When we get done near the end of this, and when we get near the end of this simulation. Oh, I just might. It's not like I haven't simulated the same team 2 weeks in a row. No other game is really flirting with me besides that one. So, just like that, Arizona, just before the end of the first quarter, they jump out to a 2-score lead.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And the kick is good.
Extra point good by Prater. And that'll make the score 14-0. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark.
Okay, let's get this last play off in the...
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
Then we're going to take a look at standings throughout the NFL and question what is going on. I mean, we still got 2 teams that are winless, and the question's going to become who's going to win their first game, if that. And we only have 1 undefeated team left, and you are watching them right now, just taking it to the San Francisco 49ers. At least the city by the bay has the Giants in baseball, so can't be too shabby. We'll watch this drive first by the San Fran. See if they can turn it around. If Jimmy G, hands off. Oof. Is that? Okay. Third and 8 already, man. I already missed first down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls.
But that's going to remind me with that when the Packers take on Arizona, because the last 2 weeks, the Packers took on the 49ers and then the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Niners have Nick Bosa. Oh, we got it. First down and more. Yeah, Nick. No, Joey. All right. Joey's on whichever Bosa. I think Nick is on LA. He's with the Chargers, and Joey's on San Fran. Still, they're both great defensive linemen. Anyways, for the Packers, they lined up Bob Tonyan to do that chip block and help get that extra blocking. And Bosa did not lay a finger on Aaron Rodgers last week. Pittsburgh's got T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt's little bro. Same thing, but I don't think TJ got. I don't think he touched Aaron Rodgers, but he did recover a fumble. But the same thing, Big Bob Tonyan came in and do some chip blocking. Woo! Look at that nice catch. And it looks like the Niners are turn this around. So when Green Bay takes on Arizona at the end of the month, I wouldn't be surprised if Big Bob is lined up over JJ. But that hurts my fantasy. I drafted Tonyan, but my fantasy is in the hole anyways. 0-4 to start the season. But I'm the only one to blame. If I gotta turn around, I gotta start doing something. My issue with fantasy football is I start the wrong people, and my bench is scoring all the points, and then I play my bench, and then what happens? They don't do nothing, and people at bench scores the points. And come on, man. So if I can't turn around this week, I think the season's over. But I'm going to do my best to turn my fantasy football team around. But that's the one thing. Nobody cares. Oh, touchdown! That's the thing, though. No one cares about anyone else's fantasy football team. I don't care about yours, and you don't care about mine. Because it's all fantasy anyways. Fun games.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high.
There we go. San Francisco's defense now needs to make some plays, and they can turn this around.
Touchdown.
Oh, it still hurts me. Still hurts me from 2 years ago that Jimmy G only threw, what, 9 passes in that championship game? And they, oh.
And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
So, okay, well, anyway, San Francisco is back in it. But here we go. Take a look at current standings in the NFL. Starting off in the AFC as we always do. In the AFC East, this is remarkable to some extent. It's a runaway so far. The Buffalo Bills, after losing Week 1, hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have won 3 straight, and they are in first place with no surprise there at 3-1. But there is a 3-way tie for second place, or last place, however you want to put it. Miami, New England, and the New York Jets are all 1-3. And the Jets pull up, I believe, in my opinion, upset, because that was my lock of the week that they would lose, but they didn't. They had to go into overtime against the Tennessee Titans, and Tennessee missed a field goal at not quite as time expiring, but preventing a tie. The single most thing I hate in the NFL is a game that ends in a tie. We are over 100 years in the NFL. We do not need ties anymore, okay? But New England was close of winning their second game last week, but came up short. Miami, this AFC East, we're used to seeing the AFC East crappy like this. You have the one team on top that were the New England Patriots for over 20 years, and the other 3 flounder and just stink it up. But this time, the tables have turned. It's all Buffalo, the Bills Mafia. New England is still trying to find their way. Miami and the Jets, well, they S-U-C-K suck.
As impressive as anyone had in the draft. Nice catch there. Picks up a first down.
Ooh. Oh. What was that? Okay, we move on to the AFC North, which is completely the opposite of the AFC East. You have a 3-way tie for first place at 3-1. You have Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland all at 3-1. And the one that's bringing up the rear, which we haven't seen in almost 50 years, are the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 1-3. Prior to the 1970s and prior to Chuck Noll is his name, right? Man, before he showed up. Yeah, Chuck Noll, before he showed up in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers were a garbage team in the NFL. I think they were founded in the 30s, and their first 40 years or 30 years plus existence, they stunk. They were irrelevant, And then here comes Chuck Noll in '69, and he turned that team around. Plus, it kind of helped that they were playing the weaker newly formed AFC division with the 10 other teams from the AFL coming. Let's be honest, they had weaker competition. And just proves that the NFL was better and more superior than the AFL. But since then, they've only had 3 different coaches, the Steelers. Chuck Noll till, 91? Then you had, dang it. Bill Cowers. There, I knew it. He got promoted. He got the head coach job, but he also gave Pittsburgh their first. Pittsburgh was 4-0, winning back-to-back Super Bowls. He takes them to the Super Bowl in '95 and gives Pittsburgh their first blemish in the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness! And it took him 10 years. 10 years later, he came back and got his Super Bowl. Got his Super Bowl, yay! But then he stuck around 1 year too long, and then he decided to retire. And then Tom Coughlin, not Coughlin. Man, I'm getting their names. Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, right? Mike. How? Yeah. How can I get that wrong? And he's a young feller. Yeah. He's been coaching the Steelers since 2007. He's turning 50 next year. And he was 36 when he won the Super Bowl 2 years later for the Steelers. But then, 3 years after that, he gave Pittsburgh their second blemish against the Green Bay Packers. Oh boy, here we go. Second goal for. There's this San Francisco defense that's supposed to be stellar isn't stepping up. But anyways, yeah, I haven't seen Pittsburgh like this, and Mike Tomlin's not gonna get fired even if they lose their remaining games. They need Big Ben. His career's over. He should have retired. What? Okay, let's keep on moving. AFC South. This is no surprise. AFC South is a mess. It's a dumpster fire. Tennessee 2-2. That's first place in the South. And they can still go 15-2 if. Fumble! But they recover it. Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is with the 49ers. Joey is with the Chargers. Okay. Tennessee 2-2. And it's like, man, they just haven't been playing well. They lose to Arizona handily. They beat Seattle in Seattle. I forget who they beat 2 weeks ago in week 3. They didn't play Jacksonville week 3. Indianapolis. That's who they beat. Yeah, they barely beat Indianapolis, and then they lost the original Titans. The Jets. But they're at 2-2. Then you got Houston and Indianapolis. They're both 1-3. And you have Jacksonville, who is 0-4 at the moment. And the question is, will Jacksonville win a game at all this season, especially what Urban Meyer's going through, and that team is just a hot garbage. I don't even know why they picked Urban Meyer to be their head coach. And I don't really care about what he did, was caught on camera, and so on and so forth. If we didn't live in this day and age of technology, no one would have known. Back in the day, it would just been, word to mouth. And like, whoa, did you hear this, that? Whatever. That's between 1, him and his wife and his family, 2, the team and the organization. and 3. Jacksonville's poorly run anyways. Okay, AFC West. Let's round this off. Man, just the stellar teams. You know, the AFC West and the NFC West, the two West divisions, I believe, are the best divisions in football today. You got a three-way tie for first with the Los Angeles Chargers, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos, all at 3-1, while the Kansas City Chiefs bring up the rear at 2-2. So every team in that division is at least 500 or greater. And the Chargers, baby, they are running away with this. They already have 2 divisional wins, beating the Raiders last week and the Chiefs couple weeks ago. They're putting their showing their dominance. I mean, it is very plausible we could have an all LA Super Bowl, and I hope not. I hope not. Can you imagine LA Chargers versus the LA Rams in SoFi Stadium? What are the odds? What are the odds of that? You know, you had the possibility of that before once with the Jets and Giants, but the Giants were more likely to make the Super Bowl than the Jets, but they both stank. But surprisingly, they both got their first wins this past week. So we move on to the NFC and their standings. Oh, look at that. Look at that running room. So in the NFC East, them boys are reigning supreme after losing week 1. They're on a 3-game win streak. Them boys, they gave the Chargers their only loss. But then, let's see, who have they just beaten this past week? That's the thing, I can't remember. Half the teams they've beaten. They beat the Eagles. No surprise there on Monday night. And then they beat the Panthers, who I thought the Panthers were going to get the upset. Thought they had a little momentum going, the Panthers. But maybe reality has sat in and hit those big cats from Kakalaka. But then you got Washington there at 2-2, who I thought was going to win this division and was going to be a more successful team, but they're still trying to find themselves, as it seems like. Washington has had several close competitive games, and if they're supposed to have this powerhouse defense, it ain't there. It ain't showing. We're going to at least get one more playoff before a 2-minute warning. Oh, he just stopped in the backfield. Then you got Philadelphia and the New York Giants rounding up the bottom of the East at 1-3 apiece. Then we move on to the NFC North, the home of my Green Bay Packers. And of course, who else is on top of the North? The Kings of the North! Green Bay at 3-1. Having that hiccup week 1. Week 1, whatever. Everyone has a blemish. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. And right now, Green Bay is cruising on a 3-game win streak. And then you got, the Bears. They're creeping up. They're 2-2, but they got their second win by beating the Detroit Lions. Minnesota, who can easily say they could be undefeated at 4-0, is 1-3. Week 1, they fought hard. They came back, forced overtime against Cincinnati, but then coughed the ball up, and Cincinnati kicked the game winner in overtime. Week 2, that much wide right lost. Week 3, hey, they got a win. They beat Seattle. Seattle sucks on the road. At least maybe on the east of the Mississippi. And then last week they hosted Cleveland and they only mustered out 7 points. And Cleveland took care of business. So they're 1-3, and those Putty Cats from Detroit, those Lions, are 0-4. Unfortunately, Detroit and Jacksonville don't play each other. We'll have to take a look. We'll look maybe after this, see who's more likely to. Maybe when the season gets further down and they're still winless, we'll see who's more likely to win.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlines. But
incomplete, third down. Oh, we'll watch this third down play. Then we got two more divisions to cover, and then we'll look at playoffs. It's never too early to talk about playoffs. You're talking about playoffs? Great quote. 3rd and 10. They got to get to, what, the 9-yard line for a first down? Play time? And, no, they're going to be short. Oh, so, okay, so Arizona had to settle for a field goal on their last drive. I mean, you kick the field goal, down by 7, but you give Arizona 2 timeouts in a minute 17, or a little less. Okay, NFC South standings. It's a little surprising. A little competition going on here. We got, no surprise, Tampa Bay, first place at 3-1, but Carolina's right on their tail at 3-1. If Carolina would have got that upset in Big D, they would still be 4-0 and running the show. But nope, they're both 3-1. New Orleans, they were just overtime away from being 3-1. But no, Giants beat them in the return to the Superdome. So they're 2-2, and the Atlanta Falcons have never been the same after they blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Haven't been the same. And they are 1-3. And then finally, NFC West, not quite like the AFC West, but all at 500 or above. You have the Arizona Cardinals at 4-0, the last remaining undefeated team in the league. Then you have the Los Angeles Rams at 3-1. And then Seattle and San Francisco bring up the rear at 2-2 apiece. So there's still a lot of pretenders and contenders out there. I still think all 4 teams from the NFC West are going to make the playoffs. Oh, Murray's on the run. Look at that space. He has lots of room and slides. They got to do. And then, timeout, yeah. So we'll quickly look at the playoff standings before halftime hits. If the playoffs were today in the AFC, you would have the Chargers would get the bye. Then Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Tennessee would be your division winners. And then your 3 wildcard teams would be the Raiders, or Las Vegas, Baltimore, and Denver. Cleveland would be the only one with a winning record on the outside looking in. And Denver wins the tiebreaker over Cleveland based on best winning percentage in the conference. Well, that's why they play 17 games. On the flip side, the NFC, you would have Arizona would get the bye and the number 1 seed. Followed by Dallas, the 2 seed. Tampa Bay and Green Bay, your other divisional winners. Followed by the LA Rams, Carolina, and Washington would sneak in as the 7th seed. And they win the tiebreaker over Chicago, New Orleans, and Seattle based on best winning percentage in the conference. Oh. So that's if the playoffs were today and the season ended today, but it doesn't. So let's see. Let's watch the rest of this. We got 35 seconds. Arizona's at their own 35, 3rd and 13.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit.
Ooh, running backwards, gets off, and falls short. San Francisco, come on, timeout, San Fran. Call that timeout. I mean, 28 seconds. You know, they'll punt. You can waive fair catch. So only about what 7 seconds runs off the clock, I'd say. So that gives you about 20 seconds. I mean, you got 2 timeouts, 2 big throws down the field. Fair catch. Oh, goes over his head. Oh, at the... Wow. You say safety? Maybe just run the ball, let the time run out. Go to halftime. Jimmy G, 7 for 11, 120, and a TD. 1 tutty.
Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know.
Yeah, it looks like play action. Crossing route. No, hand off. Gets stripped and just let the clock run out. Probably. And I'll do it. I'll probably. Yep, that'll be halftime. That calls bathroom break.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It was a terrific first half from the former #1 overall pick, Kyler Murray. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. On the return, Isabella. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Murray, that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Second and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Murray. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10.
Oh,
The big question,
doesn't look like I missed too much.
play coverage on this down?
But we're back. Oh, avoids Nick Bosa. But is stopped short. So here's San Francisco's chance to bounce back. Oh, nice and comfy. comfy in this house.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
defense is in a really stressful spot when he takes off and
Woo.
runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
Oh, no fair catch, and he just gets bottled up.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think Bobby, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score.
Well, let's see how San Francisco does on their opening drive of the second half. Ooh, just plowing his way through there. But I mean, some other, let's see. I mean, yes, so, like we all know, Madden got last week's right, which means Tom Brady becomes the 4th quarterback ever to beat all 32 current teams in the NFL. Joining Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and now Tom Brady. But Tom Brady did not have that great of a game, but the weather was a factor. I mean, he finally went against Bill Belichick and that defense live.
False start there, that will set the offense back 5 yards.
So, and I mean, I'm trying to think how many other quarterbacks there were out there. I mean, Phil Rivers, he had the opportunity, but I don't know how many, like besides being the Chargers, how many other teams he would have had to have beaten. I mean, let's see. Okay, Google, give me a list of quarterbacks that beat all the teams in the NFL. Let's see if this gives me a list or not. No, that does not give me a list.
49ers in their run to the NFC Championship in his rookie year of 2019. Injuries kept him to just 7 games last year, but he brings a dimension of creativity when he's out on the field.
Yeah, I know that. I want a list.
For a first down.
Like I said, you gotta love technology. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw is Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk.
Why does it always feels like the first half just goes so well, so fast, and then second half comes around and just drags. No, get out of there. Oh, off to the races.
He's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 56 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards.
Okay, so active quarterbacks that could accomplish this feat. Here we go. This is a along with Brady, four other quarterbacks came are shy of beating all 32 teams. Kerry Collins, he's with the Dolphins right now. Or no, he needs to beat the Dolphins, right? Or he's with the Dolphins. I'm not sure. Aaron Rodgers, we all know he's with Green Bay, so if he leaves the Packers, next year. Woo! He's just plowing his way through. He needs to be on a team that would play the Packers with a year or two, in my opinion. Ben Roethlisberger, he's at 31. He's played with Pittsburgh all his career, and so he would have to leave Pittsburgh and play against Pittsburgh, which I highly doubt. And Alex Smith, but Alex Smith retired. Okay, well, Alex Smith and Kerry Collins are shy. I think Collins never beat the Dolphins, and Alex Smith never beat the Chiefs. And I mean, that's a little surprising with Alex Smith, since he jumped around from San Francisco to Kansas City to Washington. Woo! This might be 4th down territory, in my opinion, if this was real life. Excuse me.
Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Look at that goal line stance. That's when you do play action and do a fade. No touchdown. Because yeah, Kerry Collins, he's like, let's see. There's Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has played for like 12 different teams. Surprised he hasn't beaten every team yet. Surprisingly, I mean, how lucky you just have to be on, you know. Jeff Garcia was another one that was just bouncing around. Brian Greasy, I think he was on a handful of teams. Let's see. Has any quarterback lost to all 30 teams? There has never been a quarterback that has lost to all 32 teams. Okay. 7 quarterbacks are tied with 30 losses. Those are Drew Bledsoe, Matt Hasselbeck, John Kitna, Carson Palmer, Breeze, Brett Favre, and I think that's supposed to be Alex Smith. Of the 32 quarterbacks who wins against all 32 teams, Breeze has never lost to the Saints or the Chargers. Favre never lost to the Texans or the Redskins. Well, and Manning never lost to the Browns, Cardinals, Lions, Vikings, or Buccaneers. Well, 4 of those 5 teams that Manning faced are in the NFC, so you only played them once every 4 years. Favre, on the other hand, Texans, he only faced them twice, I think. Or just the once. It depends if he played the Texans with the Jets. Because if he didn't play against Texans when he was with the Jets, and he only played them against them once, and so, I mean, one and done, I guess. Because I don't totally remember that game, but that was 2000. Had been 2004. Yeah. And it took Aaron Rodgers his second go around to beat the Texans in 2012, but he hasn't lost them since. But anywho, Washington, that's a little surprising. Especially when deflected. That's still a fascinating stat that Breeze, but yet he went from the AFC to the NFC. So I mean, how often did he at least played against the Saints once when he was with the Chargers, and he beat them. And then obviously, when he was with the Saints, he never lost against the Chargers. So, but anyways, wow. when Manning joined the league, the Browns weren't a team yet. Then when the Browns came back, they just stank. Brady still has lost to just 27 teams. So that means there's 5 teams that he hasn't lost to. Those teams being the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Patriots, which he's only played against once, and Tampa Bay, which that's a little surprising to some extent, but not really. Most of the 20 years that most of Tom Brady's career, and the few times that he's played Tampa Bay has sucked. They haven't been relevant since 2002, really, and the mid 2000s. Last time the Buccaneers made the playoffs was 07, and now they won the Super Bowl this past year. Oh, look at that. There are 5 active quarterbacks that have lost to more teams than Tom Brady, all at 28. Derek Carr is only missing the Panthers and Saints, Giants and Panthers, Saints, Giants, Raiders. Ryan Fitzpatrick is missing just the Lions, Packers, Saints, and Buccaneers. So, wow. I'm trying to think, when did the Packers play the last time they played Ryan Fitzpatrick? But that's always the other thing. It's a very hard task to do, is to beat all the teams in the NFL. I mean, in baseball, in basketball, in hockey, basketball doesn't really have that stat for an individual player. Baseball, pitchers, they have a win-loss column. Goalies, they have a win-loss column in hockey. But when you basically play every team in the league, I know baseball doesn't, the NBA and the NHL do, so I mean, individual players on the NBA team,
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Let's see. Flacco hasn't lost to the Lions, Rams, Ravens, or Buccaneers. Roethlisberger hasn't lost to the Panthers, Lions, Steelers, or Rams. Oh, that could change this year. Lions play the Steelers this year.
Throwing again. Murray.
Oh.
They'll roll him out right.
Lay that shoulder in, Murray. Let's see what this is. Thanks Sporting News for this article. And Matt Ryan is undefeated against the Falcons because he's played for the Falcons, Jacksonville Raiders, and the football team. Yeah, Washington.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Or no, 4th and 8, so they got to send out the field goal unit. Arizona trying to regain the lead with about 20 minutes left in the game. What's this? Fitzpatrick came into the year with perhaps the best chances of accomplishing the feat. On top of already having lost to the team on which he is currently the football team. Plays the Saints on October 10th, the Packers on the 24th, the Buccaneers on the 14th. They're not currently scheduled to face the Lions in 2021. However, an injury sidelined him, and Taylor Heineke. Yeah.
Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
Send it away following the main field goal. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble. As he's down at the 27. The San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out.
So San Fran trying to get their first lead of the game if they can march down the field with a touchdown. Lots of time left. Lots of time left in this game. Just have to wait and see, I guess.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their
Oh,
own 27.
excuse me.
Garoppolo.
Who was he throwing that to?
It's incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo.
Oh, look at that time. Lots of time. Oh, he's going to get sacked. How you let that happen?
He goes. Jordan Phillips gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
And they blew their opportunity to take the lead. Nice punt. Look at that. Iffy return.
46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kyler Murray going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with
I know.
the other side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game.
We'll be getting to my picks in a little bit. And boy, last week I did not. Didn't do so well last week. My upset didn't pull off the upset. My lock got upset, and it's like. And this is why I don't do the spreads. It's just this. I want to give you a winner and a loser. I don't want. Well, I'm going to take the loser because they're going to lose just because the winner's not going to cover the spread. They're that good, but they're still crappy. Like, I get the whole spread part for gambling purposes, but I don't buy in that. I want a winner and a loser. I don't care by how much. A win's a win.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running.
Well, we got 3rd and 3. Murray's probably going to run it.
Here's Connor on the read option.
Well, close enough. It was a run play.
The tackle and the extra effort moves the sticks. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
We got okay, no. So Arizona has a 3-point lead. Not much scoring going on this half.
his counter. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
But what now? Is Arizona just playing the ground game, trying to run out the clock? They still got a whole another quarter.
That means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun.
Oh, there's Bosa. Intercepted! And he's gone. That's a pick 6.
First rounder Jimmy Ward. 20, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
I mean, not saying Murray would have been able to make the touchdown saving tackle, but Bosa with the hit on Murray, surprised it wasn't personal foul, roughing the passer, which it seems like they've been calling a lot lately in my mind. Not just in Madden, but in real life. But so there we go. San Fran takes the lead.
Gold to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Oh boy.
Creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Oh well, what are we waiting for? I'm not really waiting for it. I got a bunch of dead air. Got so much to talk about in that first half. Talk, and now here's the second half, and now I'm just silent, trying to wait for... Let's just get to it. We'll get to it. I know you're healthy now. If you're... Oh, man, if you're... questionable. So last week in my picks, I went 8 and 8. Horrible. Started off fine. I was, took a sigh of relief when Cincinnati got that game-winning field goal. Oh, Murray kept it himself. But Detroit disappointed me, Carolina disappointed me, Miami disappointed me, New Orleans disappointed me, Tennessee super disappointed me. The Rams, I'm not shocked. Niners, they disappointed me. I don't remember picking the Broncos. I thought I picked Baltimore. But then I finished strong. So as we move on to week 5, starting with Thursday Night Football, LA Rams at Seattle. Rams are the better team, but they're going into hostile territory in Seattle. Seattle is still hit or miss here. They're still pretenders in my mind. They're not quite contenders at the moment. They're not showing why they can advance past the wild card weekend in the playoffs. So I gotta go with the Rams for Thursday Night Football. I know this will be out after that airs, but so we'll see. Hopefully we're 1-0. Okay. Then we move on. We move on to we finally have our first. The NFL's back in London, in Merry Old England, across the pond, and it's an early kickoff. It's what, afternoon for the Brits? Early kickoff over here, 9:30 Eastern. That's 6:30 on the West Coast. 6:30 on the West Coast. But we got a great matchup for those Brits over there and other Europeans that can travel, even knowing we have the travel restrictions with COVID. And I'm totally surprised. I wonder how they had to do this, approve of this year just because of COVID and so on and so forth. But anyways, we got the New York Jets versus the Atlanta Falcons, and apparently the Falcons are the home team. In London, merry old England. Maybe I should have done that as simulation instead of this, but if there's we almost had another pick six. Fourth down though. Anyways, Atlanta is 2 weeks removed from getting their first win against the New York Football Giants. The Jets just got their first win against Tennessee. They're going to England. I don't know. I want to say Atlanta's the more superior team, but the Jets have hung in there in some of their games. No, they went for it on fourth down. I didn't notice that. Okay. But, man, I think I gotta lean towards Atlanta. I think Atlanta's the better team. If that's saying anything, not by much.
Murray now. On the screen, this is Edmonds. Only able to get two.
But this is a coin flip in my mind. I feel New York, the Jets, they can easily get the win here. The Falcons, they could easily get the win. You never know, maybe it's a tie. But my official pick goes to Atlanta. And we got Green Bay at Cincinnati. Oh. And in all honesty, I can see the upset here. I ain't picking the upset, but I can see the upset. I would not be surprised one bit if Cincinnati pulls off the upset, but I hope not. I'm going with my Green Bay Packers. I'm picking my Packers to win, but Green Bay's banged up. Look at that. I mean, Cincinnati is not pushover. They're 3-1 for a reason. I mean, like I was saying before, they had a comeback beat Minnesota in overtime week 1. Then they went to Chicago, lost in Chicago. Then they went to Pittsburgh, and who can't beat Pittsburgh right now because of Ben Worthlessberger. Original name, right? now. And then they survive against Jacksonville on Thursday night. So they've been off for 10 days. They've had lots of rest. So Cincinnati could pull up the upset, but I'm not picking my team to lose. And there we go. Arizona's got the lead back. So I'm going with Green Bay. Detroit at Minnesota. Here we go. Divisional game, but the superior team will win. And the superior team has to be Minnesota. Detroit has, last week was just a joke fest. Oh, I think they had, at least 5 red zone trips, if not within the 10 goal line trips, and got 0 points out of them. The Lions just find ways to lose. And then they had one of those was a bad communication snap, bounce off Jared Goff and into the Bears' hands. And Minnesota, they're the home team. This is their 3rd straight home game. Sheesh. And they should beat Detroit.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Thomas.
Decent return. This is a toughie. And I guess it's considered an upset. But we got Denver at Pittsburgh. And this is another tough one. I don't know how much I really trust the Steelers. I mean, they almost got a momentum swing before the end of half last week against Green Bay with a blocked field goal attempt returned for a touchdown, but was nullified by an offsides. But judgment call, just because it's like that. Referees say, no, you were offsides, and it's like, were they? Even if you even went to replay, it'd be boom boom, and that's something they really can't review. And it is what it is, you know. And going from 17 to 14, it was 17-10 Green Bay going in the half. Oh, he's wow, just backing up, and but Pittsburgh's got the defense. They got a decent defense. It's just, can the offense score enough points? And I don't know. Same thing with Denver. Denver didn't start the season 3-0 for no reason. They got a defense. It's just their quarterback's hurt, and I mean, normally I would go with the home team here. Oh, they're going for a screen. Oh, fourth and 2. But I'm going with Denver here. I feel like Denver. This ain't my upset of the week. This is not my upset of the week. But I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Denver. Even though I think they can pull it off. But who knows? We'll see. This is my lock of the week. I feel like it's going to. I don't care what the spread is. I think it's easy peasy. You know, you're looking to see a team just destroy or dominate the other one. I think this is going to happen. Miami at Tampa Bay. Give me the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is just going to just pummel Miami into submission.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Oh boy, now it's hitting me hard. And then we move on. We move on to New Orleans at Washington. And this is another toughie. Both teams are 2-2. They're trying to find their footing. They're trying to find their identities. I mean, New Orleans, week 1, they look like, oh man, Drew Brees, we got Jameis Winston. He can eat as many crab legs as he wants. Oh, he fumbled it! San Francisco recovered! Woo! Turn of events!
At the 34-yard line.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice.
But then they've won, they lost. They won, they lost. So by that trend, they should win if they win every even week and they lose every odd week. Depending on when their bye is, maybe that flip flops. But and then Washington, same thing, but they lose week 1, they win week 2. They lose week 3, they won week 4. So, if trends are our friends, the Saints should win and Washington should lose. I'm trying to remember who did Washington lose to. Kansas
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight
Shitty.
spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah,
Right? No. Man, now I'm just blanking my head. I hate that.
I'm gonna keep firing.
Come on, I need to know. I need to know now.
On the handoff, Sermon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Ooh.
68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
NFL.
Against the 3-4 set, and that 3-4, you gotta have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks.
Washington.
The guy playing over the center that knows, he usually has
The
to
Bills.
take
The
on double
Bills.
teams, but when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Yeah, they got spanked. And San Francisco retakes the lead. So, man, do I want to go? You know what? I originally had Washington. Okay. I originally had Washington. But now we'll put these trends. If trends are our friends, we're gonna put this to the test. Washington lost week 1. They won week 2. Okay, they lost week 3. They won week 4. This is week 5. So if anything says they're gonna lose, because New Orleans, they won week 1. They lost week 2. They won week 3. They lost week 4. This is week 5. Odd week. So New Orleans should win. We're going to put it to the test, and we'll see how it goes. So give me the Saints. Give me the Saints. I originally was going to go with Washington, but I flip-flop. But you know what they say. You go with your first instincts. But I didn't put 2 together, though, when I was doing this. So I might be overthinking this. We'll see. Okay, moving on. Philadelphia at Carolina. Carolina just traded a 3rd-round pick for Stephon Gilmore from the Patriots. So they're trying to play, stay step by step with the Buccaneers in the South there. And the Eagles, they're rebounding, rebuilding, whatever you want to call it, and they stank. So, excuse me, give me Carolina. Got a little blemish. They got their loss out of the way against them boys, and Carolina bounces back and improves to 4-1. Now this one, I don't know how. We got Tennessee at Jacksonville, and how Tennessee's been playing lately. They're 2-2. They're an embarrassment. I really thought. I'm a sucker of this. I get caught up in the moment. I feel like Tennessee is 10 times better than what they really are. I mean, I got suckered in 2 years ago when they benched Mariota and went with Tannehill, and Tannehill just was on a roll. Okay, and I was high on Tennessee last year, and the plan as far as Super Bowl contenders, and this year again I have the same Super Bowl that I picked last year that I have for this year, in Green Bay versus Tennessee. But if Tennessee keeps this up, it ain't gonna happen. And they're taking on Jacksonville, who's coming off 10 days of rest. They've been in the media. They've been, we're gonna fire Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer, you're a family man, and look what you were doing. No one's lost faith in you. First, you have to have trust and faith in somebody before you can lose it. Okay? If you never had faith or trust, how can you lose something you never had it? Okay? But if Tennessee loses to Jacksonville this week, I'm done. I'm writing Tennessee off. They're not. If anything, they'll win the South, but they ain't getting far. He's gonna run again.
He'll dump this one off to Connor, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Don't get me started on Tennessee. Tennessee's just. Okay, we move on. Next game on the list, we got New England at Houston. Okay, question is, can New England bounce back? And is who's their quarterback? Some rookie. It's about rookie quarterbacks. And it depends. Is it Tyron Taylor, unless he's healthy? I don't know who's going to be healthy, but it's going to be in Houston. The Patriots just missed some cues. I still got to go with New England. They got the veteran coach. They got the veteran offensive line. Mac Jones doesn't make too many mistakes. So, give me New England. And that's the end of the noon games. Then the afternoon games, we have Chicago at the Las Vegas Raiders. And, man, Raiders, they got exposed. They just fell short. I mean, you look at how they started the season. Overtime win against Baltimore. They took care of Pittsburgh. Who can't beat them? Overtime win against Miami. That's why I thought Miami was a slightly better team than they really are. Okay? But look, 2 of their first 3 wins in overtime. Okay? They go to LA. They take on the Chargers on Monday Night Football. And what happens? There's a freaking delay. The game is delayed because there's a thunderstorm outside, but they're playing in a dome. Explain that to me. If it was tornadic weather, hurricane style weather, that could bring structural damage to the stadium that was just built, fine. But you're in a freaking dome. Play some football. Anyways, the Raiders taking on the Bears, and the Bears just announced that Justin Fields is their quarterback for the future, and he's moving forward by the sound of it. He's starting every game until said otherwise, and I can't wait for next week. But we'll get to that next week. Anywho, Bears, they're 2-2. Raiders are 3-1. Bears got their wins against the Bungles. Oh, football! Jeez, look at that acrobatic skills. See, it would have been more amazing if Bosa did a barrel roll, catches it, barrel rolls and somersaults, whatever, catch and starts running. But some costly turnovers by Arizona has put them in a little hole here. We're under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes left in the game. And San Francisco, a field goal will give them a 7-point lead. A touchdown will just expand it to 11. But Chicago at Las Vegas, I'm expecting a slightly close game. Oh, it's all or nothing here. No! Overthrown his receiver to blow this game up. Not maybe blowing the game away, but just. But unless the Raiders can get to Justin Fields like the Browns did a few weeks ago, I think it's going to be a relatively close game. But I gotta go with the Raiders. Give me the Raiders. Just win, baby. Raiders. Then we got Cleveland at Los Angeles Chargers. This is my upset pick. Both teams are 3-1, which easily I could have done as the game of the week. They kick the field goal, or will they go for it? Anyways, this is my upset of the week. Just because they are the road team. But, find out, apparently, Baker Mayfield has a slight tear in his shoulder, throwing shoulder. I'm not exactly sure what the reports are, if they were real or not, too. But I'm going to take Cleveland. If everyone's they're going to punt. If everyone's high on the Browns of winning the AFC North and potentially making it to the Super Bowl, they need to win this game. Oh, just inside the pylon.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back
Let's see.
on the field. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they
Mayfield is most
I doubt that
it's the most
known.
that
Maybe because of game plan,
partially torn labrum, that's it. So I don't know what his status is for that game. But in all honesty, the team is only as good as your backup. Because if your starter goes down, if your starters go down and your backups can't play next man up, then you are F in the A, they would say. But you know what? Just looking at all these other games, I don't know what would be a good upset pick. I mean, San Francisco over Arizona, that would be a good upset pick, but I don't think that's going to happen. I already said Cincinnati over Green Bay, that would be a good upset pick, but I'm not going to pick against my team. At least not like this. If it's a more relatively closer game, yeah, maybe. Or better, respectful team. I still think Cincinnati are pretenders. They're not contenders yet. So, but yeah, give me Cleveland over the Chargers. Then we got the New York Football Giants taking on them boys. Them boys and Big D. I think Dallas is going to get their 4th straight win. They easily could be 5-0 or 4-0 right now, but they're not. So, divisional rivals still. Giants, I think Giants have a winning record in Big D, though, at that new stadium. Because it always seems like Giants win in Dallas, and Dallas always wins in New York.
Murray now to throw.
Oh, man, Murray. Oh.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds
And then now we're up to this game. San Francisco at Arizona. At the moment, Arizona's down by 4. Okay? But I am confident how Arizona's played and show their confidence. I'm pretty sure Arizona can take care of San Francisco in their home stadium. Okay? And that's what they're doing right now. 30 for 40. And he's ran like 20 times too. Jeez. But, oh, here we go. 2-minute warning. I think San Francisco still needs to find themselves. And if Jimmy G's not playing, you have Trey Lance, right? Trey? And he needs some improvement. So give me Arizona. The game I was originally going to simulate, Buffalo at Kansas City. No, actually, switch that around. I am switching that around. The Bills, after losing week 1, they have bounced back, won 3 straight. They're on fire. They seem invincible. They seem unstoppable. They're taking on Kansas City, who has defensive issues. And what has Buffalo done so far ever since week 1? Has non-stop scoring. So actually, give me the Bills. Oh, interception! Could he go? That's game. Pick 6. Is that pick? No! He's running out of steam. Oh, tripped up. So Arizona has a chance to have a goal line stance to force the Niners to kick a field goal and then one last chance. So, but right now it's a 50-50 split between Buffalo and Kansas City. But since the question is, can Kansas City stay head-to-head with the Bills? And can the Bills' defense stop Kansas City? And I think so. Give me the Bills. And then Monday Night Football, you got Indianapolis at Baltimore. The old Baltimore team taking on the new Baltimore team. And easier said. Give me Baltimore. And now, give me the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Now we'll wrap up our picks of the week. So Cleveland over the Chargers is my upset. And my guarantee lock of the week, Tampa Bay over Miami. So let's enjoy these last minute or so. San Fran with the lead. They're just going to try to milk the clock and get another touchdown. Oh, shy. Timeout. Timeout, Arizona. They have one timeout remaining.
Timeout, their second, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
I'd say so. Third and goal at the 2. Minute 18 remaining. Oh, there's that gong. And, oh no, play action. Potentially save a timeout. And, oh, he ran out of the end zone. He ran out of the end zone. They say he caught outside of the end zone and just ran backwards.
As the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game.
Wow. Could they review that? Now, if he would have caught it in the end zone, had 2 feet in the end zone, the ball breaking the plane, wouldn't that be a touchdown? Oh, excuse me. So, are we going to be going to overtime? I hope not. So, Arizona, out of timeouts. There's a minute 10 or minute 7 left. Touchdown and extra point or PAT will extra point will tie the game. A touchdown and 2-point conversion, successful 2-point conversion wins them. And I'm the type of guy let's win or go home. You know, who wants ties? Yeah, we can go extra time, but you could lose a coin toss and never see the ball. Although short, 25 up to the 31-yard line. 63 seconds. That's what they got. 63 seconds left on the clock. No timeouts. Can Arizona come back and tie this game to force overtime?
How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
The suspense. It's killing me. And then we'll be stuck watching these hurry up, no hot huddles where it's just like mosey on down, clock's ticking.
Now Murray.
Oh, that you can't start off throwing short.
They'll contain him to
See, 56.
second down.
The clock keeps ticking, and they're gonna say what? There was 6 seconds, 7 seconds run. You obviously know they gotta do no hurry. This computer is. Look at how much time ran off the clock. There's no way they would have wasted that much time. So, did they get the first? Look at this. Look at how much time is running off the clock. This is unrealistic.
First down now, but the clock continues to move.
So it looks like San Francisco is going to get the win and the upset. And a sack. That's going to. Oh. That was a pass? Anyways, we got 8 seconds left. Can Hail Murray throw up a prayer and send this game into overtime? 3-man rush. Incomplete. 3 seconds now. We're down. This is going to be the final play. They might need some trickery, unless there's a defensive penalty. Just what you need is a pass interference, right? Looks like I said, San Francisco is going to pull out the upset. Let's see how I do this. 34. 34. Here we go. One last play. Time has expired. Thrown down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. The San Francisco Giants, yeah.
And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed
So, Madden is predicting that the Arizona Cardinals will lose their first game of the season against the 49ers. And the 49ers get back on the swing of things and improve to 3-2. And Cardinals drop their first one and go 4-1. There's your difference maker. There's your difference maker. Only 2 field goals in those middle quarters. So here's some of the highlights. Oh, the pick six. That was the momentum changer.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon.
Arizona was dominating everywhere except 4 takeaways. 4 takeaways. That's why you're going to lose.
At EASports.com. With that, we say so long.
Jeez. That'll be their stats. Let's see. CCC. So there you have it. Arizona loses according to Madden. And quick look at what were we looking at for week 6? Oh yeah, you know what? I think we're leaning towards Arizona and Cleveland next week. Unless otherwise, if things change, Broncos, Raiders, maybe. We'll see. Depends on what those records are. That's what I'm looking on based on. But there you go. Madden saying San Francisco's going to pull the upset. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You can like and subscribe if you want. But until next time, adios, muchachos.